I've been listening to this tale about a dude named Ted, standing there just looking at the tools in his shed. And then he got to thinking, just looking ain't no fun. Let's pick one up
I'm
and
finally
plug it in,
back
see
to
if
working
it'll
on
run. It did.
the
Pretty good, too.
dust collection system.
Now old Ted's a happy guy, 'cause he's got
And somebody much smarter than I pointed out that
that gal, her name is Beverly, and he's her hillbilly.
probably I'd get a lot more
He's
suction
sweet on her, she's sweet on him, they're happy as
if
could be.
the
She's Beverly,
cup
he's hillbilly,
in the
Beverly's hillbilly.
veins on my impeller were catching the air this way instead of trying to throw it off this way. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, somebody much wiser than I, my big brother. Anyway, he pointed out that almost every industrial fan he's ever seen is cupped so that it throws the air off the inside of the cup rather than the backside. So what I'm going to do is I've done it. I'm recording a preamble here. Is check the draw, the amperage draw on the motor with it running forward, and then before I get into tearing things apart and changing things around, just reverse the motor and find out how much more or less draw it takes. So that said, let's go. Let's give it a shot. All right, so I'm just checking how much draw there is on this half-horse motor with my spit it out, Ted, with dust collector attached to it. And I should have done it this way first, but I've already reversed it. So I'm just going to read the amp draw here, and I'll switch it back and I'll read it again, I think. Okay, so here, if I can get my hand around here, all right. So it looks to me like it settles in just a little over, well, 7.5 amps. I'll have to look at it again to make sure, but anyway, I'm going to, it's quite a chore because somebody's destroyed the backside of this mower. You're supposed to just be able to pull plugs and move things around, but the plugs are MIA, so you've got to switch the two wires, black and right now it's red and black. Anyway, yeah, you have to switch the red and the black, and it does reverse it. Anyway, I'm going to reverse them, put them back to the way it was, and I'll show you more. Alright, so I've switched the red and the black. We'll see what kind of draw we get now. Well, that's interesting. It's slightly less than half an amp difference. So that being the case, I'm thinking that I'm gonna get a lot more suction if I have this business flipped over, so that instead of the wind coming off the backside, it's going to come off the cup side, or get, you know, it should increase the draw quite a bit, I would think. So that means I'm going to take all of this apart and try to figure out if I can pull that off without having to build a whole new impeller. Anyhow, I will show you more. So here I have my impeller off, and I've got a line marked out here, which I think, I'm hoping, I'm going to drill a hole and find out, corresponds with the width of that old saw blade that I put in there to carry everything, give it strength and stability. You notice that it goes beyond the impellers, so I'm hoping that it'll all just sit right on top out here if I can figure out a way to fasten it there without destroying everything. Anyway, I'm gonna see if I can poke a hole here, I guess somewhere, to find out if I'm actually outside the saw blade or not, or at the saw blade, and we'll go from there. Show you more. Okay, the hole that was just outside the line was still on top of the saw blade. This one, which is, what would you say, about 1/8 of an inch or so outside the line, and there, same on the other side, is actually outside the saw blade. So I'm going to draw another line on there, and I'm going to see if I can cut it slowly and carefully with a sharp utility knife. Alright, I'll get back to you. I seem to have got it apart a little bit more than I intended at first. Got one of my impellers came right off, and the others, well, there's another one here that's broken. I glue it back on. And this, I got it out of there, but it was a chore and I kind of sort of destroyed it, so I figured I'll just finish tearing it off, and I've got some more 1/4 inch ply over there. I'll just make a new top, or a new bottom for it. So we'll see how that goes. So I've got that done. I guess I'm gonna have to take the jigsaw and cut this out. I decided to use a heavier piece on the bottom. I hope I don't regret it, but this diameter here should fit down over top of this to create a better seal for suction. Anyhow, my messy shop, it's a sign of a genius, you know. And then I woke up. Alright, I'm back out here switching this dust collector around so that it pushes the air with this side rather than this side. I was led to believe that if I put it this way, it would draw too much current for the motor to keep up. But I checked it, as I'm pretty sure I'm going to show you in the earlier parts of the video. There's hardly any difference at all. So what I've done is, obviously I've cut the business out of this side. You can tell because the saw blade used to fit in these slots here. That blade that I got there. And now what I've done I very carefully positioned it on there so that it shouldn't be out of balance, I'm hoping. And I spread some JB weld on the back side of the this thing, the inverter, yeah, impeller, and yeah, centered it up. And as you can see, I'm gonna just run it past here. It does move just a smidgen, but I don't think that my circle's perfectly round either, so try that. There, I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it. So, clean up my putty knife and get ready to cut that out a little bit more on the back side underneath my hat there. And having an issue starting my truck right now. It hasn't moved in so long that the battery was almost dead, and I've got it charging out there. So anyway, guess that's about it. I was just coming for dry. Still tacky. I want to get the finish on these things and get them back to the proud owners. Got to get it put back together. Anyway, that's a different video altogether, so show you more. Well, here we go. I've been working very little. Haven't been in my garage all winter, my workshop that is. But I did get out here today. It was kind of nice and warm this morning. It's getting cold again this afternoon. The wind's blowing and carrying on. Weather's gone nuts. Anyway, thought I'd show you. I guess you really can't see it very good. I've got it back together again there. The dust collector. And it does work. Works better than it did, I have to admit, but it's also a lot noisier, as you're about to see. But that said, the suction's a lot better. Still not really what I'd like it to be, but well, I might have to think about adding more vanes or something. I don't know. Problem is it's only a half-horse motor, so I don't want to burn the motor up either. So anyway, well, I'm going to stop this now. You all come back now. You hear? Push the little subscribe button down at the bottom there, and
so
comment.
I guess this
I'd
episode
like
is all done and said.
Anyway,
I would
we'll
like
talk
to
you
thank
later.
you all for visiting with Ted. If you'd like to see what's next, why not subscribe and see? It's not that hard, just click on it. It's easy as could be. Comment too. I'd like that.